episode of ASMR Reality. Tonight I am going to be sharing my screen. I'm going to be covering a few things. I wanted to cover a portion of my channel that I recently discovered. This is on the YouTube controller page, whatever you call it, dashboard. And in the comments section, there are unpublished comments, and I've found some before, but there's a different area that I never looked in, and there's a ton of comments in there that I have to manually accept. So I never knew that was there. So some of you have said, hey, I tried to leave a comment and it got deleted or whatever. Well, some of them are in there. So, weird stuff with YouTube. Another thing I want to cover is a Bitcoin update, because I've covered a couple videos when it was up. Well, right now we're in like a slower period, so the price is down, so I want to be fair, cover the good and the bad. I've always been a believer that until you've endured the drops, you haven't earned the right for the gains. So I like it when it goes down. It has to go down. It has to be volatile to be aggressively profitable. That's just the rule of life. And I think it's the rule of life in a lot of things. It's like you're never going to get great without struggle. And Bitcoin is the same way. So I want to cover that. And then I also want to, since that's kind of a financial topic, I've got a couple of comments that I want to address from people that are asking me to cover certain topics, like primarily the struggle of the economy. So I thought that would tie in kind of to the Bitcoin update. But I hope you enjoy this. So the dashboard, I'm going to go over a few extra things on my page that I think will be interesting to you. It's kind of demographic information. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here we go. So you'll see this is my main dashboard, and you can see I am up to 11,324 subscribers. Thank you so much to all of you that are subscribed. I can't tell you how grateful I am for that. My last video is ranked number 1 of 10. It is the most popular video of the last 10 videos I have made. So that video did well. Thanks to you guys. Thank you so much. I am going to click on this analytics here, and this just kind of keeps track of kind of what's going on. So in the last 28 days, I got 53,000 views. That's 8,800 watch hours. I gained 356 subscribers in the last 28 days, and I have made $255. So, not bad. Audience, this is what I want to show you. My audience. So the purple is my subscribers, and the blue is new viewers. So you can see the subscribers are rocking. You guys are the ones supporting my channel, so that's great. These are my most popular videos. Actually, no, these are just the videos that is growing my audience the most. I think these are the videos that people click subscribe off of the most. So that's interesting. This one is kind of, I was surprised how low this is. This is the subscriber bell notifications. Only 8.5% of my subscribers turn on all notifications for my channel, and only 5.2 subscribers turned on all notification for your channel and enabled YouTube notifications. So those numbers are low. This one is the one that is very interesting. So my watch time, only 53% of people that watch my channel are subscribed. 46% 90% of people watch my channel and don't subscribe. So if you are watching and you are not subscribed, please consider that. Age and gender, 21% female. Ladies, my goodness, where are you? 78%. My fellas rocking out my channel. Thank you so much. Guys are doing all they can to help me, but the ladies, struggling with the ladies. Maybe I need to take my shirt off. Okay, age. Not very many youngsters. 13 to 17 is less than 1%, which is good because I talk about adult topics primarily. 18 to 24 is almost 40%. 25 to 34 is almost 42%. That's my highest category of viewers. Thank you to you guys for being the star of the show here. 13%, 35 to 44. I think that numbers went up significantly. And then my age category, 4.4%. The old timers like me, yeah, baby. Rocking out to some ASMR. That's what I'm talking about. This is very interesting here. So you can see only 48% of my viewers are from the United States. The UK is my number one country that is not the United States, sitting at 12.3%. That used to be a whole lot higher, so let's click see more on this. So we go United States, United Kingdom, Canada is third, Germany is fourth, Australia is fifth, Sweden is sixth, Ireland, Finland, Czechia, Netherlands, South Africa, Italy, France, Mexico, Norway, New Zealand, Poland, what up Drag, Hungary, Spain, Brazil, Hungary, Spain, Brazil, Belgium, Joanna in Hungary, thank you, Spain, Brazil, Belgium, India, Romania, Jordan, Serbia, Turkey, Argentina, Bulgaria, Russia, South Korea, Greece, Israel. Look, I thought I would have more in Israel. Egypt, Switzerland, Algeria, Uzbekistan, Austria, Puerto Rico, Singapore, Croatia, Saudi Arabia, and Slovenia. Bringing up dead last. So that's pretty interesting that only 48% are United States and the rest of the world is contributing the rest of the half of all of my channel views. So that to me is really interesting. So let's X out of that. Let's see if we've got anything else. Nothing else really on that I wanted to cover. But so now let's go to comments. Alright, so here's a comment I just got. It says, just came across this video today. Do horses ever get lonely? I hope Piggy is doing well. So this is my home tour video. This is my most popular video on my channel ever. But obviously it's hard to repeat that because I have the same house. So it's hard to just do another one, but I'm going to do another one because I have made a few changes. And then this just shows my reply back to them. My answer to that was they are pack animals by nature, but when they get old like Piggy, they really do like their solitude, and it's true, they do. He still has me and the doggies to keep him company during the day, and he does. The dogs do give him, he does like nuzzle with the dogs and stuff, so it's cute how they interact together. But these are just the comments that you guys can see. So this is home tour. This is my cup day ASMR. Here's one of my most recent videos. So I get comments on some of my older ones too, because these are my latest comments. It's sorted by the newest comment at the top. Now, held for review. So you can see I click here and there's no comments held for review. However, I never clicked on this show hidden comments. Show hidden comments. This may contain language that's considered offensive. Do you want to show? Yes. And now look at this. I've got comments there that I never knew were there. But like, this is the video. Most of these comments are on the World is Upside Down channel that I made, because some of these I've accepted, or I can click this check mark to accept them where it says potentially inappropriate. So this is a video that I made, and I'm not going to read these comments, but I'm just letting you know. This is app-based Christian ASMR. This guy is a Christian, and of course, some of my videos, I talk about my struggle with religion. And so he thought I was deleting his videos, but as you can see, here are 2 comments that he left me that are labeled potentially inappropriate, and this guy is a Christian. He's not. Let me go ahead and read one of these comments. He says, if I wasn't Christian, I would say, hell no, but since I know there are good women out there who share the same ideas as me, I will stay single till marriage. Having random sex with no commitment is a sad life. Very sad using others. I can't contribute no more to the destitute. I must attribute to the healing. It starts on a person-by-person basis, rejecting modern ideas and getting back to the original. So all he was saying was that he was not having sex before marriage, but because he printed the word sex, it got flagged. So when you're leaving comments, that's why you might think, but I can promise you I never delete comments and I never hide comments. So I just wanted to cover that so you guys knew that was the case. While I'm here also, let me go ahead and shout out my members. Let's look at all my channel members. My oldest channel member who has been with me for 31 months is Karma Whispers ASMR. That dude is amazing and has been just a magnificent supporter of mine. He's been with me a long time and been a member that long, so thank you so much, Karma Whispers. Dominique, 9 months. Thank you, Dominic. Aaron P. Thompson joined 6 months ago. Thank you, Aaron P. Thompson. EP rejoined 9 months ago. Sometimes people, if you're not paying attention, you can fall off, and then you have to remember to rejoin. And EP rejoined 3 months ago, but he's been a total of 9 months. Joined 2 months ago. L. Bakovich has been with me for 2 months. Stephen Hoskins, 5 months. He rejoined 2 months ago. And Addison's ASMR has been here 1 month. She rejoined 7 days ago. Total time as a member. So thank you, Addison's ASMR. You are my newest channel member. So let's go ahead and go to Addison's channel. She doesn't have videos. Let's go back to wait a second here. Let's go back here. Let's go to Karma Whispers. Karma Whispers does have videos. His last upload was 10 months ago, so he's not been uploading. But if you guys could swing over here and give him a subscribe. He's got 451 subscribers, and I know the days of not getting to 1,000 because YouTube doesn't contribute to doesn't pay you until you hit 1,000 subscribers. So let's show Karma some love because he's been good to me. If any friend of ASMR Realities is a friend of yours, so let's help him out. All right, moving on now to. Let's X out of this. Moving on to Bitcoin. Now, you can see on my page right now 403,479. This is my homepage. This is my current balance. The last day in red, today alone, I have lost $23,380. Now, the thing to remember it's always fluctuating. I forgot to turn off my air filter. I'm going to go shut that off real quick. Okay, so this is where we sit currently. Now, I am going to go back to my home page. I want to show you this graph. So I'm going to click on 1 month. So right now we are sitting, I got down to 391 today. That was the lowest it was today. But as I scroll through here, you can see kind of how it went. I had 450, 479, 486. Oh, this is 1 month. 462. You can just see the highest I have, about 480 over the last month. But if I click on 1 year, look, I got as high as 588, 605, about 605 was my high mark. So you can see just the fluctuations as I go. This is the 1 year. So 200 to 300 to 400 to 500 to 600. So it went up pretty quick. There was a pretty rapid climb. And since then it's been kind of just moving along sideways. This was the biggest dip. It went down to 370 on August 4th. That was the low water mark. But we're reaching that part again. I'm at right now 436. Is that where I'm at? No, we're at 403 right now. So, but again, as you can see, if I go back to 1 month, 1 week, you can see prices go up and down. So here's 423, and then there's 439, and there's 447. Here's, it's gonna go up and down. Just one day I went from, again, the high like 428, now I'm at 403. So I just don't watch it every day because this is a long-term hold. You buy this product with a 4-year time horizon. You don't buy it today and hope that it goes up tomorrow. If I just go to my assets and I go to Bitcoin only, this is Bitcoin only. So 1 Bitcoin right now is $53,000. It was 56.9 today at 9:15 a.m. and now it's at 53. So if you bought one today at 9 o'clock, you lost $3,000. By 12 hours later, you lost $3,000. But you didn't lose it because you didn't sell it. So the whole theory is that if we go look at 1 year, so again, if you bought it on September 20th last year for 26 grand, you've almost tripled your money. Not doubled for sure. If you go back to all time, so you see how this just goes up and down, up and down. So for example, somebody on December 23rd of 2017 could have bought a Bitcoin for $15,000. And then on the same day in December of 2018, it was $3,000. Now that person would have lost from 16 to 3,000. They would have lost almost three-fourths of their money. But if they just held for 6 months, now it's 11 grand, and then held for another 6 months, it's 6,800. And then if they would have just held on, look what happened by 2020. Again, a 4-year time horizon from 17 to 20. Where's 2020? There's December of 2020, $23,000. They would have went from 15, and there's 2021. So really, 2018, 4 years later, $64,000. And if they would have sold right here because they got scared, look what they would have lost. So when you buy an asset like this, now again, if be more coming. That's all time. That is from 2013 to 2024. So if you just look from the beginning of $100 to 24, now one is 68. We're 50 something right now, but we're hovering in that range. But that's why I say I like this asset. I think long term this is going to be. We are still in the infancy stages. This is a long-term investment. You do not buy it to sell it tomorrow. You're better off not even looking at what the price of it is. So now let's go and read some of these comments that I wanted to tell you about. So here is I want to scroll up here because there were some comments about here's one from David K 5093. It's hard enough living on $20,000 a year. This was a video I made that says, how much money do you need? And his comment was, it's hard enough living on $20,000 a year. Here is another one that says, this is from Ben Raz. Shout out to Ben Raz. Can you do a whispered video on tips on how to survive in this current economy while things are getting expensive but salaries are staying the same? I would love to hear your input. I'm 24 and I'm trying to navigate moving out and affording a lifestyle on an average salary. So let me just say, let me save this video, add photos there. Okay. Let me just say that, let's switch this back so now I can talk to you again. Pearl is snoring, but some of you say it's okay, so. Pearl. She's out. I understand the struggle out there right now. I really do. And I want you to know that I have been there. I remember the days of getting down to $7 or $8 in my checking account after my bills were paid and wondering how I was going to eat for the rest of the week until I got paid again. It's so hard, those early days, and I'm talking about like when I was from like 16, 17 to 21, 22, those early years were hard, very hard. I was very poor. I had nothing. I had a zero net worth. Matter of fact, I had a negative net worth because I had debt. And your net worth is figured by taking the value of everything you own, subtract your debt, and whatever is left, that's your net worth. That's what you are worth. So somebody might say, well, he's a millionaire. Well, you would be surprised. You might see a big old house, but hypothetically, if some guy has a $1 million house, but he owes $900,000, that's only $100,000 net worth. And then maybe he has a fancy car that's worth that he paid $75,000 for, but he still owes 70 on it, and it's probably worth 50 because he's upside down in it. A lot of people do that. They look rich, but they aren't rich. They use debt, and they just pay payments, and it's hard. The whole objective of life is to get out of debt, have a car that's paid for, have a house that's paid for. And it took me a long time to get here. I am 52 and I haven't been here that long. But it's very difficult. But the smart moves that I made was I started investing early. So nearly every company you work for offers some sort of investment option. You just have to start investing, just like with Bitcoin. Okay, you don't have $53,000 to buy a Bitcoin today. I get that. But do you have $5? Because you can buy $5 worth of Bitcoin today while the price is low. And you can buy $5 next week and $5 the next week. It doesn't take much because these numbers will compound. Again, if you can imagine, in 2013, people were called crazy for buying Bitcoin for $100. They were called fools. What are you doing throwing your money away? If you would have bought one Bitcoin for $100 in 2013, today you would have $53,000. That's just 10 years. If you didn't touch it, you didn't do anything. So, that's the power of compound interest. It's the same thing with the stock market. You don't have to invest in crypto. You can invest in stocks because stocks will do the same thing. The stock market averages 10% per year. There's some years it's down. There's some years it makes 20%, but it averages 10%. So if you just invest, hypothetically, if you invested $100 this year and it made 10%, you would have $110. But then next year, if you put another $100 in and it made 10%, then you have 200, and now your $210 makes 10% of that is making you 20 some. So you can see your equity, the interest is doubled. So you've doubled the amount of interest in just 1 year. And then the next year it would triple. The interest is tripling. But again, $100 a year isn't going to make you rich. But over the course of 30 years of a work life. So again, if you can imagine you're 20 today. Imagine you're 22. You graduate high school at 18. You get a 4-year university degree. You get out at 22. You start working at 22. You work 30 years. You're my age. You're retired after 30 years. And all you did was invest 10% of your paycheck. So if you make $50,000 a year, which is under the average salary, then you're paying $50 a week. I take that back. You're investing $100 a week because you're making about $1,000 a week, and they take your investment off the top before tax, so they don't tax that money that they put into the market. So if you make $1,000 a week, they take $100, and that's $5,000 a year. Your first year, your second year, your third year. So even if it made zero, imagine 30 years of $5,000 per year. It's $150,000. But it's going to end up being, it probably would end up being $1.5 million is what it would end up being at the end of 30 years because of compounding interest. So even now, the example that the other guy gave, who was that said the 20,000, can you tell me? David K5093 said it's hard living on 20 grand a year. Yeah, no doubt it's hard living on 20 grand a year. Nearly impossible. But it's not going to always be that way. Whatever you're doing, making $20,000 a year, you just do a damn good job at it, and you're going to move up either in that company or you're going to get noticed by somebody that sees you doing a good job and recruit you into a better job. You're not going to make 20 grand forever, but even if you are making 20 grand, it's possible to survive in America. If you're making $20,000, the government is going to subsidize you. They're going to buy your groceries. You're going to get an EBT card that you take to the grocery and buy your groceries with. So you just have to live lean. But I believe that the key to being successful and having a successful life is practicing the art of delayed gratification. And delayed gratification just means waiting for it. Yes, I know you want I really don't anymore. The older you get, trust me when I tell you, the older you get, the less you're gonna want. Because the older you get, the more you realize that the best things in life are free, like the love of a dog. Now, dogs aren't free. Well, rescue dogs like Pearl are free. I think I paid a $50 adoption fee for Pearl. Actually, I gave them $500 as a donation because I wanted to help the organization. So I paid $500. But if I was poor, I could have only paid $50 for her. Now I have to buy her food, and I have two dogs. So I have Vivian over there on the bed asleep and Pearl back here asleep. But I spend about probably $300 to $500 a month in dog food and dog treats. But I don't have to spend that much. I just spoil them rotten. And I've got myself to a point I can afford to do that. But the point is, the older you get, the things that you realize, like taking walks or just sitting outside watching the birds. You know, I love free time. I love reading. You know, you can read so much for free on the internet. You have public libraries where you can get books for free. Just borrow them. You can get lost in a book. You can even rent movies at the library still, you know. There's just a lot of things you can do that are free. You just have to know. You have to know that your day is coming. You have to believe it with every ounce in you. That if you do these things, if you struggle and you sacrifice, you will get ahead. But you have to be working. You have to be doing something to give back. You have to be producing. And that mainly means you have to be getting paid. You have to have a job. You have to be working. You have to be productive. And I believe that if you do it, it's pay now or pay later. You either work when you're young or you're going to be working when you're old. What do you want to do? You want to be working. I can tell you this. You don't want to be working 60, 70-hour work weeks when you're my age. It will be miserable. Much better to do it when you're 20s and 30s and working hard, knowing that you're getting yourself ahead so that you have these years to enjoy it. Now, you can enjoy your 20s and 30s and relax and struggle. You're still going to struggle. Even if you're poor, you're going to struggle. You're not going to be able to do the things you love when you're 20 and 30. And so let's say you're 35 and now you say, okay, fine, now I'm going to start hustling. Well, now you got to work 30 years. You just started at 35. That means 65. You're just now getting done. I don't think you're going to like it. I think you're going to spend from 50 to 65, 15 full years hating yourself, regretting that you didn't do it when you were younger. So that's why I say you got to start now. Because the other thing is the power of the compounding interest. You know, if you start young and you just make those small investments, it's going to pay off. You know, I think it's the biggest problem we have in the world is that people feel like life should be easier. But I don't. I think it's just getting up. Just think about just laying in your bed and your alarm going off. That isn't easy. And that's just part of being a human, is just waking up. That in and of itself is hard, and it's hard for everybody. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, it's so easy just to get up every morning. Yeah, people convince themselves it is, but it's not. Everything's a struggle. Our bodies get tired. Our bodies get sick. It's just a struggle. All of life is a struggle. Even when you get the money, it's still not easy. There's still struggles. You know, you heard it said that I'd rather cry in my Ferrari than my Escort, or I don't even know what the other, whatever cheap car is. I'm showing my age by saying Escort. Ford Escorts haven't been made forever, but Corolla, how about that? I'd rather cry in a Ferrari than a Corolla. Of course you would. But I think those things are more, there's even bigger problems to have. So, I know the struggle is real. I know that things are hard. But if you just tell yourself, it is going to be hard, but I've got to do it anyway. And I've got to put the time in. I've got to put the effort in. And the rewards will come. I promise you they will. You just have to go through the struggle. The majority of us are born poor. That's just the fact of life. We're born poor. Our parents aren't going to give us $300,000 to go buy a house. They're not going to hand you $50,000 when you graduate high school and say, go get the car you want. But some people do. Some rich kids out there have that life, but they're very far and few between. If you're Barack Obama's kid, yeah, you're rich. If you're, some celebrity, LeBron James kid, yeah, you're rich. But if you're my dad's kid, which is me, you're not rich and you struggled and you have to endure it. But I can tell you, when you get here, you're going to be proud. You're going to be proud that you earned it on your own and that you endured the struggle. So I just ask you to hang in there. Things are going to get better. You're going to dig yourself out of this hole. You just have to be diligent, because I can tell you, the world is not going to explode. You're going to wake up tomorrow and we're all going to go to work. Another thing, people are talking about this election like it's the end of the world, at least in America. I promise you this, the day after the election, you know what we're all going to do? It doesn't matter who wins. We're going to wake up and we're going to go to work. That's just the truth. Today is September 6th, 2024. On September 6th of 2025, guess what we're going to do? We're going to get up and go to work. It's just the fact of life. The world is going to keep on spinning. We're going to see different things. 10 years from now, we'll probably have seen 3 or 4 different wars. We'll probably have seen, we may have seen crazy things by then. We will probably have flying cars. We will probably have robots doing most of the work. We'll probably be getting universal basic income in 10 years because the robots will be doing everything. So I think, look at this time now as your moment to shine. Put your effort in, make a name for yourself now, because before too long the robots are going to be doing everything and we're all just going to be outside playing, and you want to have some stories to tell. And now's your time to make those stories. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one. Good night.